True wealth rarely shouts. It whispers through the quietest details, the kinds of actions that many overlook yet leave an unmistakable impression. While luxury cars, designer logos, or lavish vacations may draw attention, the deeper markers of status are found in small, nearly invisible behaviors. These are the micro-habits that separate those who simply have money from those who embody refinement. A gentle choice of words, a respectful nod, the way one values silence over noise, all are clues that speak volumes without a single announcement. Observed closely, these habits form a silent language that signals genuine class. There is a particular kind of confidence that doesn't need to fill a room with noise or demand attention, yet it naturally draws others in. Those from the upper class often embody this quality through the smallest details: an upright but relaxed posture, movements that are deliberate rather than hurried, and a calm tone of voice that conveys self-assurance without aggression. They rarely feel the need to prove themselves, because their sense of worth is already rooted in security and refinement. Even in conversation, they avoid overpowering others, instead listening attentively and speaking only when their words carry weight. This understated confidence whispers authority rather than shouting it, creating an aura of composure that others instinctively respect. It is never boastful or loud. It is the quiet certainty of someone who knows they belong, and it signals class more powerfully than any expensive display ever could. For those who embody true refinement, time is treated as the rarest luxury of all. Punctuality is never just about showing up on schedule, it is a quiet signal of respect, for themselves and for others. Arriving neither rushed nor late suggests balance, control, and discipline, qualities deeply associated with the upper class. Their days are carefully structured, not in a frantic attempt to squeeze in more but to preserve space for what matters most. Meetings, dinners, and social gatherings are approached with an awareness that other people's time is equally valuable, and this consideration subtly elevates their presence. Unlike those who flaunt wealth with material displays, they demonstrate status through an organized life that resists chaos. Managing time with precision becomes its own form of sophistication, and when others notice this seamless rhythm, they recognize it as a hallmark of quiet power and cultivated elegance. Elegance often lies not in extravagance but in restraint, and the upper class understands this instinctively. Their appearance is polished to perfection, yet never in a way that screams for attention. Clothes are tailored to fit effortlessly, crafted from quality fabrics that drape well and last for years, rather than being covered in obvious designer logos. Accessories, too, are chosen with care: a classic watch, a simple pair of earrings, or finely crafted shoes that quietly suggest refinement. Grooming is meticulous, from neat hair to clean nails, presenting an image of composure that feels natural rather than forced. What stands out most is the subtle consistency: always neat, always appropriate, never overdone. This quiet presentation whispers sophistication, proving that class is less about flaunting labels and more about cultivating an appearance that reflects self-respect and timeless taste. It's a style that leaves a lasting impression without uttering a word. The way someone speaks often reveals more about their background than what they wear or own. Those of the upper class tend to communicate with a calm, measured tone, never rushing or raising their voice unnecessarily. Their word choice is deliberate, favoring clarity and refinement over slang or exaggeration, which reflects both education and cultural exposure. Just as important as speaking is the ability to listen, giving others the space to finish their thoughts, maintaining eye contact, and responding thoughtfully. This balance of articulate expression and attentive listening conveys respect and intelligence, qualities that quietly signal status. Even in disagreement, they choose diplomacy over confrontation, diffusing tension with tact rather than aggression. Such communication habits are not designed to dominate a conversation but to elevate it, leaving those around them with a sense of having been valued. Subtle, composed language becomes a lasting marker of true class. Discretion has long been a quiet hallmark of those with true refinement. Rather than indulging in gossip or airing grievances publicly, they maintain a calm boundary around their private lives, allowing only what is necessary to be shared. This restraint conveys both self-respect and respect for others, as it avoids unnecessary drama and keeps relationships dignified. When speaking about others, they choose tact over bluntness, aware that careless words can erode trust and credibility. Even in moments of conflict, their approach leans toward measured responses rather than emotional outbursts, protecting their reputation while preserving harmony. To them, privacy is not secrecy but a form of elegance, a way to live with integrity without inviting unnecessary judgment. By keeping personal matters discreet and conversations respectful, they create an aura of mystery and trustworthiness, qualities that quietly whisper upper class without the need for spectacle or self-promotion. At the dining table, refinement is revealed in the smallest gestures. Those who embody upper-class habits understand that meals are not just about eating but about experience and respect for tradition. Using cutlery correctly, holding it with ease rather than stiffness, shows familiarity with etiquette rather than forced performance. They pace their meals gracefully, never rushing through courses, but instead appreciating the rhythm of conversation and cuisine. Napkins are placed subtly on the lap, elbows rest lightly off the table, and phones remain tucked away, as presence takes precedence over distraction. Dining rituals, from waiting until everyone is served to acknowledging the host with a quiet word of gratitude, are observed naturally rather than self-consciously. These microhabits may seem minor, yet they reveal a cultivated upbringing where manners are second nature. In these moments, it becomes clear that elegance is practiced not in excess but in mindful detail. Refinement often reveals itself through curiosity rather than superiority. The upper class shows cultural depth in subtle ways, an offhand reference to a book they've read, a casual mention of an art exhibit they attended, or a thoughtful reflection from their travels. These details are not shared to boast but to enrich conversation, weaving knowledge naturally into dialogue. Their curiosity extends beyond status-driven interests, embracing history, ideas, and diverse perspectives. This quiet engagement signals a life of exposure and learning, where cultural experiences are valued not as trophies but as tools for growth, reflection, and genuine connection with others. True wealth is rarely displayed in piles of possessions. Instead, it whispers through deliberate choices. Those with refined status prefer quality over quantity, investing in items that last rather than chasing every trend. A well-made coat worn season after season, a timeless leather bag, or furniture built to endure decades quietly speaks of deeper wealth than constant novelty. Their spending habits reveal discernment rather than impulse, emphasizing longevity and craftsmanship. By avoiding excess and focusing on understated elegance, they signal financial security without the need for show. It is this restraint, not extravagance, that hints at genuine prosperity. Class is revealed most clearly in how someone treats those who cannot offer them anything in return. The upper class often distinguish themselves through quiet politeness, acknowledging service workers with genuine gratitude, holding doors without hesitation, or addressing people by name when possible. These small gestures show respect rooted in character rather than performance. In everyday interactions, they practice patience, listening attentively and speaking kindly, regardless of the situation. Manners, for them, are not a formality but a natural extension of dignity and empathy. Such consistent kindness becomes a silent signal of refinement, quietly whispering their true social standing. In the end, it is not luxury brands or grand displays that define true refinement but the small, nearly invisible habits woven into daily life. Each gesture, whether punctuality, composure, or kindness, forms part of a silent language that whispers of depth, discipline, and quiet elegance. These microhabits may escape the untrained eye, yet to those who notice, they speak volumes about upbringing, values, and character. Wealth may be spent, flaunted, or lost, but the grace of these subtle practices endures. It is within these understated details that the essence of genuine class quietly, yet unmistakably, reveals itself.